Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome back. So we tried to do just a little update with hashtag One Nail One Campus with our winner, Brandy Pig. Congratulations. She raised $300 on her canvas, and she chose a Ronald McDonald House in Chattanooga, where she had to stay there sadly for 81 days because of the illness that her daughter had. And so it made me just want to come back on and kind of do just a little motivation. We all go through these hard times, whether it's the illness of ourselves or illness of a family member. Our clients get colds all of a sudden at one time. You guys know I had the flu this week, so it made me stop and, did I save up enough money to cover myself to have a week off of work? That kind of stuff. And so I just kind of wanted to come in and do some motivation that through these hard times and these times where we feel like we're starting to get snowed in, that summer's over, if you're in the US and Canada and all of that. And when you're in Australia, you're just in the first brinks of spring and enjoying the renewal of all of that. And so sometimes we go through these moods as the seasons go, how we feel, if we have energy or not. Did we overbook ourselves or are we underbooked? And just the mindset that it takes for us to get back on track. And so I'm just kind of here to do a live Q&A that, kind of share our stories. So do you guys have anything that I can maybe help motivate you on? I'm going to share my personal story here. You guys know this year has been the toughest year of my entire life, my career, the pressure on my family. It started, I went on a cruise where I taught nails. I was so excited. And when I came back, I ended up with a condition called mal-D de-embarkment. And so my body still thinks that I'm on a ship. And it's been 10 months. And I still have it. However, I was luckily through all of these processes of specialists and tests and all of that to find out that it's the neurological part in the brain. So it's not an ear imbalance. It's not, the crystals lined in the ear. It really is something that I will never be able to go on a cruise again or trains. And so we did find the right meds to help calm down those nerve systems so that I can function, but I don't have the energy that I had before. So I had 209 clients that I did every month. I worked an average of 50 clients a week. I have this mindset where I'm upset that I don't have the finances I've had. I'm upset that an illness can take me down that long. Like, you get a cold, you get over it, you get back to work. This didn't allow me to have that same cycle that I've had in the past. I also have a condition called POTS and mast cell activation. So I have an idiopathic anaphylaxis. So, I've had this lifetime of issues come up that has taken me down sometimes, and that had inspired a workshop that I did called Inspire Your Desire. And I realized that every time that I was thrown back down and had the time to sit there and have to rebuild myself, how did I want to rebuild myself? Did I want to go through the same steps and be in the same position that I was? Or did I want to set it up to where my financial situation was a little bit better so that I did have a week off? Or if all my clients for some reason had the flu and I felt good, but yet I still didn't have a client in my chair, did I have the savings? Did I have my cost known and put aside so that when something happened for a week, that I didn't go into this depression? And it took a long time for me to get there. However, I never prepared for 10 months. So I've had to step back and start counting my blessings. I started doing 2 clients a week, and I started doing 3 clients a week. I'm now up to 10. That's it. 10 clients a week is about all I can do before I'm exhausted again. And so, but that's a mindset. I can either be thankful for the 10 that I have and continue knowing that I can build this up, and then try to find something else, a side job, which I did workshops, to be able to try to bring in additional company. What do you guys do? Do you have side jobs? I know some of you are doing paparazzi jewelry, you're doing side things, but again, if you don't feel well, are you going to be able to go live selling that? So have you set your business up in multi-facets of income so that if something happens in one area, you can rely on the others. And that's what I want to motivate you guys today, is to, get into other side things. Now, I know that when it comes to selling like retail, you have an investment in the beginning. So therefore, if you don't have the finances to start it off to begin with, you're going to have to start off slow, or become like an ambassador for another company, so that days that you do feel well, you can put out a video, you can start advertising for a specific product that they want to promote, and then you share their hashtags, you get a part of that company, and then they start sending you kickbacks. That's another form of income that still allows you to be productive. If you do have retail and you already have money spent and it's sitting there, then another force of income or use of income that you could do is start advertising that, you're not able to do services at that time, but please remember, I still have your shampoos, your conditioners, your cuticle oils, your scrubs. Here's an at-home kit for you to do on yourself until I can get better to pamper you, and just put them into a small kit. There's so many different ways that you can get yourself out there. I see Robin's on here, and Robin, thank you, a warrior. I can tell you that was behind my Inspire Your Desire. It was, are you a worrier or are you a warrior? And I've shared that video on here. And so, do you sit and worry about it all the time? Or are you going to overcome the obstacles and realize that you can become a warrior, and you can say, okay, yep, I own this. This is what happened to me. This is where I'm at. I can't change it. So guess what I'm going to do now? I'm going to reinvent myself and kind of turn that out. And so, Robin, thank you for that. But Robin, you're a perfect example. And again, I had to cancel Robin's Tech Talk this week because I had the flu. So we'll hopefully get her on in the next few days. But with that, Robin, invented heuristicus. So she found another way in the industry to benefit other people. There's actually some health benefits that come with that as well. But it's a side thing that if for some reason something happens here and she can't bring in the clients or the finances here, she can promote that more. And from her bed on her computer or something like that. So there's so many ways that you can do side hustles, as they call it. So what do you guys do? And even if you're watching this on replay, I want you to share what you do on the side. Some people do, like I said, paparazzi jewelry. They sell, makeups and stuff like that. Where does your passion lie in it? And I know one time I decided I was going to sell Scentsy because my salon doesn't have acrylic odor in it anymore. I do the genre technique. There's no odor to it. And I realized that my Scentsy pots were, people are like, oh, what's that one? What's that one? And I capitalized on that. I spent $99 to become a Scentsy rep. But there's rules with the company. You have to have $200 in sales to place an order. You have to order, I think, that within every 3 months. Like, it was just, you have to become a salesperson for it. And I wasn't good about selling it outside of the salon. I just sold to the clients that were here. So it wasn't something I found, it was not profitable, let's say that. But I have a lot of scents and a lot of Scentsy and a lot of pots for every room. And so you got to get into something that you know the rules to and that you want to be a part of. And so for me, it keeps going back to kind of being an ambassador for a company, being an educator for a company, and promoting within what my strength is. And my strength has always been shape, structure, nail art. And I love it. There's nothing wrong with that. I just know that that's what feeds me. And on days I feel good, I put a collection of videos together. And then when I get enough and I feel it's professional enough, then I put it into a workshop or I share them freely. And so what do? What's your side hustle? We'll call it that for today. And I'm going to go back up here and just say some hellos. Christy and Michelle and Amanda. Oh my gosh. I can't say hello to everybody because there's too many of you on here. Joanne and Jay, hello guys. It's nice to see some of your names. Greg Salo's on here. Greg, you're a perfect example of where you didn't just stick with one niche. You built your company, brought in a team of people, built a company with many different products so that you weren't limited into just one area. And as a nail tech, sometimes we just limit ourselves of just nail enhancing or just manicures or just pedicures. But sometimes we need that variety so that when somebody all of a sudden says, I don't want pedicures anymore, I want my nails done, you can accommodate to that. And it's important to let people know everything that you have. So we have to sell ourselves. Hi, Miss Allie. Long time no see. So Amanda says, I feel for you. I was diagnosed with vertigo. It's tough to pull out together, put it together, but important to take care of ourselves. Yes, absolutely. And so what I learned is that the longer I work, the more tired I get. And there's something about the position of my head being down like this and the movement that as soon as I turn my head up, the world spins. And I can tell you, you guys know that I had this big sway. Like if you go back to Tech Talks in January, I could not sit still. It was like I had a drunken sailor look, almost like a Parkinson's. I couldn't control my hand movements. I can control my eye functions. And I just toughed through it because one thing that made me feel good is that I still had a voice. People might not want to look at me at that time, but I still had interviews to do. I still needed to feel productive. And I don't make money off of Tech Talks. There's no money involved in it at all. It was a feeling. And every time I did a Tech Talk, even though I didn't feel well, it fulfilled my heart and made me still feel productive, like I could help. And so, but with that, it still opened more doors and more opportunities for the people that I met. And that as I felt better, I was building these relationships that I never knew was going to be there. And so, once again, what do you guys do? What fulfills your heart within the nail industry of what, or even without? Maybe it's a hobby, but you want to bring it in. So I used to have a business called Shabby Chic Boutique, and I repurposed furniture and made signs. I have like a vinyl cutter to make the signs and stuff like that. And so therefore I would make my own retail. So hobby was my outlet of getting my mindset out of work, but really everything I worked on, I turned back into like a process of nail art. And I always had to remind myself that if I was redoing a piece of furniture, if I didn't take it all the way down to the natural wood and fix that wood, nourish the foundation of that, to repaint it, rebuild it, and go through the steps of the primers and go through the steps of the sanding and go through the steps of the proper paint application, let it dry, thin coats and all of that, all the way to your top sealant, I wasn't making something that was going to last. And so over and over again, every hobby that I did actually went back into how I felt about nails. And obviously, you guys know that I'm passionate about our industry and the products and making sure that people are doing it properly and all of that. And so I know where my niche is. I know where my heart is. Sometimes though, it just takes us away from our desk and it takes us away from where we feel productive and it puts us in that slump. And what pulls you out of that slump? So Amanda, thank you for that. It's kind of hard when people haven't had a vertigo kind of thing to understand that it's not just that the room spins and you can lay down and makes it go away. It's not how it goes. Hi, Julia, Ramona. Hello, everybody. Gail, good evening to you too. Okay, so Carla says, hello, I sell doTERRA essential oils and teach future nail techs in a beauty college 3 nights a week. Ooh, that's exciting. I would love to teach at a beauty college. Sadly, in the state of Wyoming, I can only teach licensed nail techs, so I can't teach students. Now, I am an educator for light elegance, so they'll allow me to go in and promote a light elegance, but I can't just go in and like do a nail art class because I'm not licensed yet. So check with your states if you can do that. But Carlette, I'm telling you, you're kind of living a little bit of my dream. I like that part. When it comes to like a doTERRA oils, exactly that. So my neighbor does doTERRA oils. I don't, but I have for sale, I should grab one, but they're pre-packaged and she made little like rice bags and they have certain oils and she put on there that the oils that are on here is this oil, this oil, and this oil, and it's good for headaches. This oil, this oil, this oil, and this is a fall asleep one. And she sells them for $7. I didn't have to make those myself. I don't take a commission from it. She gives me a kickback every now and then of like an oil or, something like that. But team up with people that's their specialty and that's what they want to do. And that helps benefit you. So that's additional sales that happen in your salon that you can have a commission or, like I said, a kickback of the product if you like that. And then that builds my retail, which brings more people into my studio, maybe not even for nails, but because Sandy said, hey, I have some, rice bags that are infused with, doTERRA natural oils to cover this. And then she refers them back over. So it's this great system that can work to benefit you and still be productive. And then likewise, I can post that online to sell and then help her. And then she helps me. It's just that win-win part. So yeah, that's wonderful, Carlette. Christy says educator. Yep, I'm an educator as well. And so not as educator, there's many levels. So for instance, you can be an independent consultant educator, which is, what I am, but I'm also contracted with Light Elegance. I'm also an ambassador for Nailchemy and Profiles, and oh my gosh, I can't even list the names of companies that I've been fortunate to be able to work with. So with that, you sometimes get reimbursed with product. Sometimes you get reimbursed financially. Sometimes they have you travel with them and be able to, get yourself out there more. And sometimes you're just independent, where you're able to stay in your own studio, maybe go live, do your education online with other people and not, promote a specific product or something like that. And so, like I said, there's so many ways to fulfill your heart and get yourself motivated on those days that sometimes we're just in that slump. And so I love that, absolutely. Christy says essential oils as well. Julia is also a hairdresser. So you definitely, and Julia, I've talked with you many times, that you can bring in many aspects, but you have to upsell yourself. So you don't just do somebody's hair for years and years and years and years and never tell them that you also do manicures and pedicures or paraffins or waxing or the other treatments. And so let's say you went to a restaurant. I'm going to tie this into something else. My daughter works at City Brew. It's a little coffee shop, kind of like a Starbucks, and it's mandatory that they have to try to sell the card, or have you do their membership card. So you put money onto the card and then you get special discounts. They have to try to upsell where you buy a brownie or a little cake or a scone or something like that. And then they have to try to upsell from a small coffee. Do you want an extra shot? Do you want more syrup? Do you want that to be a medium? They always have to upsell. But they're upselling, but they're never telling you, hey, we're giving you a discount. They also never tell you, oh, I raised my prices today. Okay, they're just telling you everything they have to offer and allowing it to fulfill your need for that day. But they're forced to have to do that. If we compared ourselves to these big companies of McDonald's that are forced to do that, other restaurants are forced to say, would you like a dessert? Would you like wine with that? At what point in time do we realize that we need to upsell ourselves? Whether it be retail, your client might have the worst cuticles and they're sitting there with a $6 latte. They can afford a $4, $5, $6 cuticle oil to help maintain their nails. But it's up to you to upsell yourself like that way. I can tell you, I'm the worst at it and it's hard. I learn, but it's interesting that as soon as I try to upsell something, not only do they go, oh, well then what else do you have? And I sit there and it's open for them to see. Every time they come in, it's in their sights, but they don't really notice it. They don't really see it because they know that it's always there. And they don't really know that one of those items is a need for them. So what happens is you recognize it during the service, like, oh, every time you come in, your skin's just very dry. I put this lotion on you at the end of every service. How do your hands feel for about a day or so? And they said, my hands are always good about 3-4 days, and then they start getting dry again. They're telling you they need that lotion at home, that it does work. They've seen the results. So whether you buy a trial size and offer it to them for a little bit of amount to tell them to keep it in their purse and they have to use it, or you offer them a large size that they can keep at home and use, we know the products, we have it. And so anyways, it's our job to upsell. I'm awful. I give it. I know. I give it away. I'm one of those that doesn't always practice what I preach. But I do know in my mind that I know that I need to. And sometimes I'm really good at it for a little while, then I go back and don't. Christy, jewelry, yes. So jewelry's a big one, and makeup, obviously. Caitlin's on here. Hi, Caitlin. Caitlin's one of our newest admins, which I'm excited because Caitlin's going to start doing some nail art tutorials and sharing some tips and tricks. But she says, when I'm not doing nails, I usually can be found at my family restaurant running around. Yes, sometimes, just like with me with crafting, we have to do something totally different. We need to get our mind out of nails because we become consumed. Everything we look at, Becky posted the other day what are they called? Those plants that kind of grow in the air. I forget what they're called. Anyways, succulents. Okay. So she posted a picture of succulents and it was all these fall colors. And then underneath it was, a palette of colors. And of course we go for a drive and we look at the colors changing and we're like, oh, so on nails, I need to be using yellow, green, oranges, burgundies right now. Like everything we look at, we turn into some sort of a nail art process. It's never ending. So being able to take our mind out of that mindset and focus on something else, we need that. But sadly, that inspires us even more on a different level. I mean, for me, it does. So it's kind of interesting how our brain works, but it's because we're passionate about what we do. Hello, Beaky. How are you? Julia says you inspire so many of us, Amy. Julia, I'm glad that you say that, but I can tell you, I only go live because of the feedback that you guys give to me. If I went live and nobody was there, I went live and people are like, and I saw the numbers going down and stuff, that wouldn't feel my soul to know that I was doing the right thing, right? It's your feedback and comments like that that go, okay, I'm doing this right. I'm going to keep doing this because I feel good about that. And I can tell you every time that I go live, I'm nervous every single time before I go. And I've gone live, I was trying to count it. It's over 500 times that I've been live. Over 500 in probably the last 3 years. Like, it blows my mind, but I love it. I thrive on it. I'm nervous before every single one, but when I get it done, the rest of the day, I'm on a high. It fills my heart. It fills my soul and the connections that we've been able to make. And there's always one person that said, you taught me something. You inspired me. Keeps me going. So thank you guys for that. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I've told you guys that many, many, many times. Ramona says she doesn't really have a side hustle. And I'm not saying you have to, but let's say this. So this week, I was off work for the entire week with the flu. I missed out on our Tech Talk with Robin Stopper. I missed out on my 10 clients that I finally built back up to. I missed out on church. I missed out on a family dinner at the ranch. And I wasn't stopping to see what I was thankful for. What I was thankful for, not that I want my husband sick too, but my husband was the one that shared his lovely virus with me. I got to spend 3 days laying on the couch watching Netflix movies back to back, eating the best of chicken noodle soups and chilies and all of that. And I got to spend quality time with my husband that sadly, it takes both of us being sick to sit around like that, because I'm a little go body and I always have something I have to do, or I'm doing 2 things at once, and he's the same way. And so the blessings is what we have to count during those times. Financially, absolutely awful. We had to spend more money. He had to go to the doctor. There's nothing that they could do. So we had to go buy more cold medicine. We had to go buy more healthy fruits and vegetables. We had to go buy more things that would tie into a stew and broths that would, fulfill us. For me, I needed the teas and the warmth. We bought stuff for the shower to help keep our sinuses open. We actually spent more because we were sick with no extra income coming in. So what I'm saying is sometimes we need the side hustle, and but make it something that still fulfills your soul. Make it something that it pulls you away from the table, and it has to be something different. Something in a way that can sell itself, or you've promoted it enough that people come in regularly for it as a need, like a refill of a lotion or something like that. So, yeah. Hi, Mandy and Nicole. Hello, Amanda. Slump Fighter is watching you. I know you're sick too. And YouTube for ideas. Focusing on bulking up retail and more ideas on items like oil, scrubs, lotions, and added eye masks. Yes. So remember, whatever you get, in all the years that I've done with marketing in my salon, even if you watch commercials, notice that commercials have a problem and that they're the solution. Every Lyrica commercial, every pizza commercial, you want your family to get together, your family's distance or whatever, order our pizza and your whole family will come together and eat together at the same time. There's always a problem and a solution. So let's say you're going to sell lotion. You're not going to sell lotion to somebody who doesn't have dry skin that has clammy hands. So you're gonna have to make it a need for them. They either need the scent of the lotion, they need the ingredients of the lotion, they need the size because it might fit in their purse, so they'll actually use it, or they need one that's easy pumped that can stay on their sink where they go all the time. But yet, if they're going to do that, they might need one at work, they might need one for their person, they might need one for home. So be all encompassing of what you can do on that side hustle, and you're going to need to make it somehow a need. They need to come to you to get that, and they need to understand the ingredients and the product and feel like they're getting a good deal on it, and there's a need and you're the solution. And so remember the things that you pick for your sales. Here's something that I did. I had started buying all these duo packs where it was gel and polish, because at the time I was doing gel polish nails and then pedicures. Well, throughout the years I've had to quit doing pedicures. I still got the duo packs. What am I doing with the polish? So I turn around and I'd retail it for $5. But yet not one of my clients is using polish. I'm doing their nails and their toes in gel polish. None of them are using polish. The polish is separating, it's sitting there. I'd put them in gift baskets. I tried to sell them at the holidays. I'd give them to little girls when they came in and stuff. It no longer was a need to me, so therefore I no longer made it a need to the client. But a couple years ago, a client comes in, oh my gosh, my son brought home his girlfriend and I need something fast, and I knew you would have something here that we could put together fast. And so again, you were talking about the eye mask. We put in an eye mask, we put in some polishes, we put in things for natural. Now I put a buffer in there, I put a file in there, put a little note in there, a little lotion, cuticle oil, created this kit. It was less than 20 bucks and she was on her way. And that was a need. She needed that. So if your clients don't know what you have, even if it's like in another room or something and it's not out there, you need to speak up and say, oh, I have these things and I can, customize a little package for you. And so sell yourself. And we also know that husbands and boyfriends need help. They need our help to find out what their girlfriend or their wife needs, so that we can help give them brownie points of a gift that they gave to their girl. And so if you advertise and market yourself that you do have retail and that you do have these things, advertise sometimes to the boyfriend or the husband or the son that wants to buy for his mom, like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, holidays, and all of that, or just because. Let your mom know that you love her. Come get her a gift certificate, and with every gift certificate, we're going to throw in this creamy, luxurious lotion that you can, rub on your feet, upsell yourself and let people know that that's what you have. So once again, there's a need and you're the solution for that. Hi, Catherine. Hello. Hi, Miss Jill. I know that you're very busy right now. Carlette says, I'm a master instructor in Oklahoma. That is wonderful. So what's your side hustle to that though? Is that become your main job? What do you do for inspiration? What do you do to get away from it, where you can close your mind off? Hello, Bobby. Carlette says, great ideas with teamwork with others. Yes. Oh, that's so important. Even if you are a solo tech like I am now, so for 3 years I've been a solo tech, but I've owned my salon for 27 years and I've never been solo. I found that I still needed that. And where my team comes from is no longer local, and who's with me, it's all online. And so through Tech Talk Worldwide and through like the Nail Source or other things, I've been able to create teams to do different things. And it's important to have a team because it makes you accountable to somebody too, so they know you're going to get it done. So you have ideas, find the right people to help, influence that idea and help it grow and let it come to fruition. Like that's how it starts. If you go back, like I listen to like Tony Robbins a lot, motivational kind of things a lot, and do you know all of them have a team? They said it took me having like the one, I remember this one, he's like, it took having a secretary to help the secretary, a travel agent, took all these people for me to travel where I needed to go, and then somebody to tell me where to go. So he was the speaker. He was busy. He does his show 6 days in a row, and he almost does 24-hour shows, and he just takes time to eat. They do a little bit of sleep, and they're back motivated. It keeps people motivated for the 6 days that he's there. I could not do that. And he says when he's done, he's exhausted, but it took a whole team of people for him to be successful. And he gives them credit for that. And that's how we are. We're hustling every single day. And yeah, we might take the time to go home to sleep, but we get up and we do it again the next day. Sometimes we're working more than one job. How can we get it to where we can find the right team? How can we get it to where our side hustle is allowing us to have that extra income so that when we don't feel good and we're not our best, there's something else there so that we can continue what we're doing. Ramona, cross promoting. Yes, absolutely. Julia, this last week brought in referrals from service mentions. Perfect. That's the greatest. Nails, pedicures, facials, and waxing next week. Yes. So you're specializing in a multitude of things like that just to be able to get the people in. And then who's to say that later on you won't be like me and just say, I've narrowed it down. I no longer have the whole service of menus. Truthfully, my client's been built up for years. All I do is fills every day. The difference for me is nail art, but I still promote different things. So even though I don't do pedicures, I still have a footsie bath. And so in the wintertime when my client's cold, maybe they don't feel good, and not because they're sick, because if they're sick, they're not in my chair, but just days that we just don't feel good, I'll pull out the footsie bath and upsell it for an extra $5 and just let their feet soak. And it does a little vibration on it. Take a little bit of lotion at the very end, rub up their feet. They put back on their shoes and socks. It's not a pedicure. It cost me pennies to be able to do that. And the upsell was $5. And the service time was the same time that I was doing their nails. Do you know how pampered they feel? They don't get it every single time. Some of them will ask for it more in the winter time though. And that's the little things that you can upsell. We're going to talk more about this. Tomorrow we have a coffee talk. It's going to be Gail, Becky and I, and it's about, how every October they say raise your prices in October or tell your clients this. We have some ideas that not only for you to raise your prices, but how to be confident in raising your prices, how to raise your prices, how to know your costs so that you know your prices should be, so that when you do raise your prices, it's significant enough for you to be profitable. And once again, help for you to have savings so that when you have those low times that you can do that. So tomorrow, join us on Tech Talk Live, Coffee Talk. It's in the event section of our group. It is at 1:00 Mountain Time. If you click on that event, click going, it will send you a reminder in your time zone of when it is. So it's a nice added bonus. And obviously it's free. Carlette says, great explanation of upselling. I will be using it in my classroom this week. Yay! Wonderful. Give me feedback on that. Always like the feedback too. Hi, Lisa. Lisa says, the only thing that I don't upsell is my nail art. I can upsell my jewelry in a heartbeat, but go figure. I know, it's a mindset for some reason. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about that. So the nail art is one of the biggest things that we tend to not charge for, but actually we don't realize it takes away all of our profits as well. So join us on that coffee talk tomorrow, Lisa. Hi, Karen. It was so great to meet you last year. Carlette says, I gift the mini solar and daddy oils during Christmas, and I tell my clients to bring them back for a refill of $3. Yep, they need to use it. You can increase sales by filling in their needs. Yes, and what's nice about that is you can order in bulk, so you actually make the cost less for you, so that when you pump it to fill up their small jars, it really is not that much, and so therefore they need you to refill it. You've created this need, and you're definitely pushing them to use the cuticle oil, which is fabulous. Hello, wonderful. Julia says she's also a potter. That's awesome. Get your hands dirty, huh? Jill says, my side hustle turned into my main career, and I never saw that one coming. Isn't that so true? I never set out to be a nail tech for all these years. I was an EMT, and I was going to be a paramedic, and my life was set after 5 years of being an EMT, and I owned the salon was my side hustle. I realized I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I have too kind of a heart. I'm too emotional to be an EMT. However, I feel that knowledge helped set me up to be married to my husband's in law enforcement, and it helped me understand there's things that he sees. He's a lot stronger than I am with the emotions of that, obviously. He can't always talk about. And the things that he sees, sadly kind of becomes the norm of when you see people on drugs or you see people hurt and possibly deceased. And so therefore, I had to get out of that. I could not do it anymore. I loved it, couldn't do it. So my side hustle was nails, became my career. And then I tried to become an orthodontist assistant, which I did for 11 years. And you guys know that that's where I learned how to do e-file course, was through orthodontics. And so I've had many like little side hustles, but it's interesting that I've always gone back to this. And then when I finally realized that, okay, can be a real job, and I'm going to keep this as my real job. And I just focused on that. It was amazing how many doors opened to me through education platforms and continuing on that way and motivation. And I've always been a person to know how much do my products cost? How much does my table cost? How much is my overhead? And so I've always taught that. And so now we've narrowed it down to the name of Keeping Profits in Your Pockets. It's an online workshop. I teach it in person too. That's my side hustle now, as I do nails, but I still teach people the proper way of doing nails, as well how to make money in the industry, because that's sometimes our side hustles, our main hustles, aren't profitable. April, you're a genius. I don't know about that. Just been around a long time. I was just talking to my salon owner about needing to market myself more, and you've just given me some ideas. Yes, you're so awesome. So I have a class that I called Get Branded, Get Used, because we want to be used. We want clients to use us to be our techs. We want magazines to use us for their publications. We want people to use us. This is a good way of being used. And I come up with so many ideas in that one. It's not released yet because, I like to do them live and interactive and stuff like that. So it really comes down to the time. So I bet I'll be doing that one this winter. Yeah. So continue to inspire yourself with that. Do Google searches. Look at old issues of Nails Magazine that you can get online for free, and look what other people have done to help market themselves more. And obviously nowadays, if you follow like Russell Bronson's and the ClickFunnels and the Manny chats and email campaigns and how to brand yourself, and we've done interviews with Stephanie Mitchell, who's Sunny Storm Marketing, and she specifically markets for salons and nail techs, and how to brand yourself that way, and how to market, how to create great content. I'm not good with that. I can post the picture, I can do a couple hashtags to it, and then I can sit there and answer any questions from there. But to actually create a short story to add to my post, it's not my strength. You'll never see me do a workshop for that, because it's not my strength. I take people's workshops for that. Yeah, so good for you, April. I'm glad that that's on your mind, and obviously this talk came to you at a time that you needed that affirmation. Hello, Danny. Okay, Delia says, I don't have a hustle right now. I'm trying to open my salon from home. Yes, that's your hustle right now. There's a focus, and that's big. And so once you get settled into that, then you can decide what else you want to do. Sometimes when you're doing a home salon, you don't want people walking in for retail. It's kind of awkward when you're making dinner for your family and somebody's walking on your salon door because they want to refill their oil. It's not like a main street salon where you have a storefront and you want people to walk in. So your side hustle is going to change a little bit, So yeah, obviously your focus right now, though, is on something a lot bigger than that. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Hello. Geneva, you guys, thanks so much for joining in. Okay, I caught up with all the questions, so I'm going to let you go on this lovely afternoon. I kind of am going to be honest with you. I had set a goal today to pick the apples off the tree because we're getting ready to get another storm. I need to go pick the apples off the tree. I have recipes saved. I have the inspiration saved on my Pinterest. I have recipes coming in from another live that I did that people are sharing apple recipes and apple cider recipes and apple bread recipes and all of that. I'm going to go pick apples today. Yep. So I'm just procrastinating. Anyway, so my new side hustle, if anybody wants, is going to be some carameled apples. Anyways, I hope that you guys all find something that fulfills your heart. Allow yourself to expand. Allow yourself to not just be narrowed and bogged down to one area of the industry. Grow, put yourself out there, but you know what? You have to speak it. You have to put yourself out there verbally, in your heart. Make yourself accountable to others, even if you have to make yourself accountable to the group, and say, by the end of this year, I'm going to do this. Here's my before picture, and I'll submit the end after. You've made yourself accountable to us, and we do remember that, and we will say, hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Until you prove to us that you did it. So if you have to do it that way, do it. Make yourself accountable to somebody, because that tends to put a deadline on us and make us get it done. I know I have to. So I made myself accountable to show you guys that I'm going to go pick apples. You know, I'm going to send you guys a picture of a basket, even if it's just one basket. But I'm going to get some apples picked today. So thanks guys for joining in. Delia says, I have gone apple picking yet, or I haven't. Well, Delia, come on over, because my tree was very fruitful this year, and I'm telling you, it's a good thing I have lots of family and friends around here that love apples, because I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaways for apples. That sounds so nice. It is. And that, you know what? It's going to put me outside. I still don't feel good. I still have this stuff in my chest, but I know that today's a great day. The air's not windy. I'm going to be able to breathe in the good, fill with nature, harvest something, and turn it into, produce something else. And so, and then be able to share. So, I mean, something as simple as the apples. I love it. Sending you love. Thank you guys so much. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining Tech Talk Live. Thanks for joining in all my little pop-ups. And thank you guys so much. Robin says, enjoy your apple picking. And thanks for another inspiring live. You guys are so welcome. Thank you very much. Delia says, my state, I can go out till October. Yes, so we can too, but we've had 2 big snowstorms already on these apples. And one of my clients said, Amy, if you don't pick those apples this week, they're going to start getting soft on the tree. And our leaves are already falling off of it. And so therefore the apples will fall off as well. And so it kind of put some fire into me saying, all right, I'm going to go pick them on that day. So today's the day I've marked off. So, okay, I'm just procrastinating longer. So you guys, I hope that you find something to do, even if it's for 10 minutes, to calm you, refill you, even if it was just watching and listening to this. Thank you guys so much. And I hope it does inspire you to learn about the upsells, learn about where you want to be in the industry, and focus on that, because we're thriving. Our industry is hugely thriving right now. And so if you're having struggles, you just need a mentor. You need somebody that can help you get to the next level. Share what your struggles are. I made a post that said I'm getting ready to do some more videos and lives and tutorials, and wanted to know what you wanted to learn. And so far, shaping has come up a lot. The hard thing with shaping is we show so many times how to shape as a new set. But really the problem with shaping is, in that new set grows out in about 3 months' time, you no longer have the original shaping, because your sidewalls aren't there. The form isn't there the way that it was in the beginning. So you either have to do another new set to get that long stiletto the way that it is, or alter that shaping somehow into something else. Or you have a client that's now square and they want to go stiletto. You can't just file in the sidewalls and give them a stiletto. There's no structure there. So sometimes on the rebalance how to do. So shaping classes are very hard, because when I look at it, I look at the whole picture. So my goal of a shaping class is show you how to do it as a new set, how to show you it 2 months later where you can kind of finagle it through the fills to keep it, but then show you again how to truly get that shape and structure back through the fills, not having to do another new set. So it's going to have to file it then, put on a form, rebuild it out, and be honest with your clients that this is a continuous process. So in 2 to 3 months of this nail growing out and fills, we're going to have to do something to continue this shape that you've chosen, and how to communicate that with the client. And so I do want to do a shaping workshop for you guys, but I'm telling you, it's taken a lot more work than I wanted, because I don't want a whole bunch of new sets. This is how you shape. It's not that. It's how you reshape and rebalance when they come back later on. That's where my mind always goes. I'm passionate about that. And so anyways, I look forward to doing these workshops. I have 4 videos ready for that already, but that's only 4 shapes. Do you know what shapes are now in the industry? We have lots, ever changing. All right, take a bite of the apple to see if they're still good before you pick the basket of the bad frozen apples. Yes, so my husband was our guinea pig. I sent him out last night. I bought some of that good original caramel, and I said, or old-fashioned caramel, and I said, do you want to taste test this? And he looked at me and he goes, they're ready. So they're ready. So you guys have a great day. If you have time to just spend 10 minutes outside and see the colors changing, whether you're in Australia and you're starting to get blooms, or you're here like I am in the Northwest and you're starting to get the fall colors, just enjoy it. Even if it's raining, just take a moment to go outside and just enjoy the good stuff and breathe that in. So thank you guys for joining in. I adore every single one of you and love networking this way. So thank you for giving me this option. Have a great day.